Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. My name's Sharon and my channel is living on a part-time income because that's what I'm currently doing. I work part-time locally and it gives me time to do my YouTube videos. It also gives me time to spend quality time with my family and my friends and my sons and my granddaughter. And on my channel I chat about grocery shopping that I do in Marks and Spencer's, Aldi and Lidl's. I also talk about thrifting at the charity shop and vintage finds. I also talk about personal finance and keeping track in my spending diary. This keeps me accountable for my spending. And I also do recipes and cook with me's as well. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, then I would love it if you would consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And welcome back if you are already subscribed. Thank you so much for coming back. So today's video features some little snippets of Greenwich, which is where I went on Saturday. I had quite a busy weekend in London really. It was very, very nice. Kew Gardens Friday, which you saw in my previous video, and then also London Saturday. And yeah, I had a really lovely day. Had a meander through the indoor and outdoor markets, sneaked in a charity shop, had a wander around around the Queen's House and the Maritime Museum, up to the observatory, saw some great views. So yeah, here's my video showing those little snippets now. So highly recommend Greenwich if you're looking for a different day out in London. It definitely caters to all tastes. Lots of food places, pubs, also historical interest. It's just an ideal, lovely day out, and you've got the Cutty Sark as well. And you can also walk from Greenwich up to the Tower of London. That's a really, really nice walk. I didn't do that at the weekend, but it's something I have previously done. So my next part of the video is my cook with me. So from my last video, you know that I had got some lamb. It was very unintentionally quite expensive, but I made a slow cooked lamb curry and it was actually really, really delicious. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the process of how I made the slow cooked lamb curry, and I hope you enjoy. Hi guys, so today I'm making a lamb curry and I'm going to be putting it in the slow cooker. So I'm currently just heating up the oil and some butter, and I'm going to throw in the cumin seeds. I've prepped my veg that I'm going to use, so I'm going to put in the onions once the cumin seeds and the oil and butter are starting to pop a little bit. Then I'm basically going to brown the lamb, and then I'm going to blend the garlic and 1/2 to 3/4 of a can of the tomatoes in the Ninja chopper, and then I will add my spices, my beef stock, and that will all go into the slow cooker with the carrots. So the butter's about melted. I'm going to add the cumin seeds, so I'll be back once I've added the onions and the lamb. So the cumin seeds and butter and oil are popping nicely. I'm going to throw in the onion. It's a bit of carrots gone astray, never mind. And I just need to get my stirrer. And I'm just going to let that just hopefully start to get golden with the onions, and then I'll add the lamb. So I've put 1/2 a can of the tomatoes into the blender with the garlic. Just put that on, plug that in, and then I'm just going to blitz that. So I'm not going to do it so it's totally fine. It can be a little bit coarse. Just do it once more. That will be fine. The onions are getting a nice saute and glow to them, so I will be adding the lamb shortly. So I've just added in the diced lamb. I'll let that be in the pan for a few minutes, not very long to be fair, just to let it brown. And then this will go in the slow cooker along with the carrots. And then I'm just going to prep my tomato and garlic sauce with the spices. That will go on top, and then the slow cooker will be turned on. So the lamb's browned nicely. I'm going to put this into the slow cooker now, and then I'll be back where you can see I'm preparing my curry and spices sauce with the tomato and garlic. So I've just put the tomatoes and garlic into the pan. I've prepped my spices, my beef stock, so I've added boiling water to 300 millilitres of water. I've got my carrots there, which are going to go into the pot, and there we've got the browned onions and lamb. So yeah, let's add in the curry spices. A little bit of residue there, so I just need to stir that in a little while. Let's just turn the heat up a little bit on that. I haven't added in any cayenne pepper yet. So basically the spices that I did add just now, I'll show you. So I added in teaspoon of cumin, teaspoon of garam masala, teaspoon of turmeric, teaspoon of coriander, teaspoon of the medium curry powder, and I will add cayenne pepper, salt, pepper, tomato puree, and maybe a dash of honey as well. That will be added. I might add that in a minute. Yeah, I think I will actually. So let's add in some cayenne pepper. Should get a nice kick there. Add in some pepper. And add in some salt. I don't like to be too heavy-handed with salt. I much prefer to add as I go along. So the curry base sauce is simmering away nicely. I did add in about 1.5 teaspoons of tomato puree and some pure honey, like not loads but just a nice little glug. And I have now put the carrots into the slow cooker. I'm now just going to add the stock. Actually, no, I'm not going to add the stock. I'm going to add the curry sauce first. Let the flavours get in. So I've put in the curry and tomato and garlic sauce. As you can see, there's quite a bit of fluid there. I haven't even added the stock, so I'm going to add in some stock. And then you can always add some more as it starts cooking. So basically now the slow cooker is going to go on, and I'm going to put it on high for 4 hours. So that's it, guys. I'm most probably not going to see you for a little while. I'll be back in 1 to 2 hours. So I'm back after about 15 minutes. I'm adding a couple of extra ingredients. I wanted something to thicken up the lamb curry, and I was debating whether to put in lentils or potatoes. I'm going to put in my favourite potatoes, and I'm just going to add a teaspoon of everyday seasoning just to give it that kind of Jamaican feel to it. So yep, I'll add these and then you can see what they look like once they're added into the slow cooker. So I'm really happy I did that. I've added the potato, I added a teaspoon of the Dunn's River Everyday Seasoning, and I added near on the rest of the beef stock. So that will now produce a really nice thick lamb, carrot and potato curry. I really can't wait. I will hopefully see you in a couple of hours. Hi guys, so we are about nearly 2 hours in. I've given it a stir. I did a cheeky taste test, and I've added just a little bit of a sprinkle of garlic granules. It's got a nice little kick to it. It's quite sweet from the carrots, but it's still, yeah, it's still cooking. Obviously it's slow cooker, so you can see it bubbling at the edges there. But very happy with how it's going, and yeah, just need to leave it to do its thing. Hi guys, so we are coming up for the 4 hour mark, As you can see, I've added some chopped coriander. I also added some corn flour to thicken up the gravy. I put in about 1 to 2 tablespoons. And I've just felt with a knife earlier, the potatoes are nice and soft, and the lamb, yeah, I could put a knife through the lamb and it just split. So it's not quite at the 4-hour mark, but I'm really happy with how it is. It's not quite dinner time yet, so it can sit and keep warm for another hour or so, and I will see you at the dinner table. So I've just hit the 4-hour mark. I've put the slow cooker on keep warm. I have had a taste test of the lamb, and I'm happy, very happy to say it's literally just melts in the mouth. But yeah, I'll give you a proper review when I dish up. Hi guys, so I have just dished up and it looks very hot. But I'm really looking forward to trying it. So here goes. Well, the lamb is just melting in my mouth. I am very, very happy. I feel like I've still got loads and loads left. I'm definitely going to be able to batch cook 3 nice big portions, possibly even 4. So yeah, very happy with that. Nice and spicy. And yeah, perfect meal. And I've enjoyed using the slow cooker. It's definitely taken all the work away from me this afternoon. I've been able to relax. Bon appetit. So I've had my dinner. I had a little bit of seconds, only a tiny part, and I just wanted to show you what was left. So as you can see, there's quite a bit left there. That's going to make 3 nice portions, I would imagine. Very happy with that. So yeah, it was well worth me getting the lamb, even though it was unintentionally expensive. It tastes absolutely amazing, and it stood in for 4 portions, £3.12 per portion. Can't really go too wrong on that. You know, you can't even get a ready meal for that. And if I wanted to get a lamb curry from my local takeaway, it's going to cost at least £6 or £7 anyway for a portion. So I'm very happy with that. So I hope it's inspired you to maybe make your own curry. And if you are inspired, please let me know in the comments what you're thinking of doing. So as you can see, it went a fair way. And also here's a picture of me putting it in the containers. I got 3 really good sized portions there. So overall, I had 4 portions of curry, plus a little bit of seconds as well. So cost per eat, it's definitely stood me in around £3 per portion, I would say. Very, very happy with that. And yeah, it did seem initially like it was quite expensive, but when you kind of, you know, cook it and batch it all up, it is a fairly reasonable meal for, you know, an expensive meat. I was very happy with the cost per eat of that, and it was absolutely delicious as well. So thank you so much for watching my vlog today. I really appreciate all your likes, all your comments, and if you haven't already subscribed, would you consider doing so? It would mean so much to me. And I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again. Bye.